And so did the rest of the world. Part 2 was an instant hit, selling 7 million copies worldwide. By this point, Lara was an A-list celebrity, and Eidos knew that in order to meet demands, they would need to deliver even more hits. It sounded good in theory.
We had no choice but to release another Tomb Raider year on year, each Christmas. It controlled our lives for probably 5 or 6 years. I mean, it pretty much ruined most people's lives.
Closest I've ever seen anybody to a mental breakdown.
Fans just wanted more Lara. That's what they got in 1998's Tomb Raider 3. Core Design squeezed the PlayStation for all it was worth on this one. Top-notch graphics and innovative non-linear play accompanied Lara's trip out of the tombs and into London and the States. By 1999, Eidos knew it was time to evolve the franchise yet again. Tomb Raider 4, The Last Revelation, promised improved visuals and even graced a brand new console, the Sega Dreamcast.
We'd get feedback from Tomb Raider 3 from a lot of people who felt we had gone too modern, so then Tomb Raider 4, we very much went back to the tomb. It was all set in Egypt. Personally, that's probably my favourite game.
Certainly. It just felt like this is a complete game rather than a series of episodes.
Developers had a nasty surprise for long-time fans. The game's cliffhanger ending showed Lara being buried alive in a tomb of her very own.
People's feelings about Lara are actually quite mixed at core in a way, because she was, in a sense, almost their taskmaster. You know, she was the one forcing them to get these games out year after year. In a strange way, they actually went as far as trying to kill her off in Tomb Raider 4, just to try and avoid having to do Tomb Raider 5.
I think the reason we attempted to kill Lara off was because we really thought we'd exhausted what we could do with the franchise. Seeing Lara falling down a gigantic hole in the middle of the pyramid was quite a joyous moment, so we all, went for a few pints and celebrated the death of Lara, but she came back and got us, you see.
Lara promptly returned in 2000's Tomb Raider Chronicles. Sort of. The game unfolded entirely in a series of flashbacks, narrated by Lara's friends, who believed she was dead.
She will live on forever in our hearts.
As far as we were concerned, we'd kind of killed her off. So Tomb Raider 5, we did the best job we could, but whether our hearts were in it or not, I'm not entirely certain.
By then, Lara was running out of breath. The franchise pushed the PlayStation 1 to its technical limits. Reviews and sales started to fall. Developers listened to fan feedback and began working on a brand new chapter in the story of Lara Croft, titled Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness. Little did they know what trouble was waiting around the corner. Gamers were still buying Lara Croft's adventures by the Jeep loads in 2001, but critics and fans agreed the series was losing its luster. With the release of the PlayStation 2, the Tomb Raider team decided to overhaul the game for next-generation consoles quickly.
The consensus was it needs to change. She needs to be able to talk to people, she needs to be harder edge, this whole list of stuff which we all sat around and we all bought into. But as that project went on, it was obvious we'd made it too big, and what we were trying to do was insane. I mean, just mad.
The time limit wasn't really enough. The team size wasn't enough. Missed loads of deadlines. Angel of Darkness was forced out before it was really ready.
In late 2003, the ambitious Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness was released worldwide, with some mixed results. Initial sales were strong thanks to an aggressive ad campaign, but critically, the game received lower scores for its glitchy graphics and awkward control scheme.
I don't think you'd ever get anybody else to admit to Angel of Darkness that it was their fault. Ultimately, it was my fault, and I paid for that with my job, which I'm very happy about that. But it was done by committee, so you live or die by the sword.
At the same time, players were migrating to newer action-adventure games. After The Angel of Darkness, Eidos made a tough decision.
Stop. We're going to have to take this away. We've got to this Jewel in the Crown franchise. We've got to. They seemed to be making a new start, so they took it over and gave it to the Crystal Dynamics in the States.
In order to creatively jumpstart the series, developers at Crystal Dynamics knew they would have to make some big changes for Eidos, while staying true to the series' roots.
Coming back and starting to work on Tomb Raider Legend posed a number of challenges. Because one of the biggest questions that were asked was, is the franchise still alive today? Is the consumer interested?
An old friend jumped in to help answer those questions. Toby Gard. Wiser from the experience of a decade earlier, Gard wanted to rekindle an old flame.
I wanted to get back involved because I felt like I could help to sort of guide the brand and guide Lara back in a sort of direction I thought that the original Tomb Raider was taking it.
With Toby's help, developers started the difficult task of reinventing the series. The overhaul began with the leading lady herself. For the newest game, the buxom booty hunter received a full body change.
I decided to sort of turn it on its head, how we were approaching the character design, which was to keep very, very caricatured proportions and shape, but then go for real realism in terms of muscle and bone structure and detail.
Next up, Crystal Dynamics made Lara's actions much more fluid, allowing killer combinations of moves. Like a pro gymnast, Lara could run, jump and flip through Legend's intricate tombs. The new environments were a huge draw for longtime fans. In April of 2006, Eidos released Tomb Raider Legend. In the opening scene, 9-year-old Lara was traveling with her mother when the plane crash-landed in the Himalayas. The Crofts stumbled on an ancient artifact, and Lara's mother accidentally got sucked into a bizarre time rift.
The concept is this plane crash that she suffered at a young age in the Himalayas and having to escape on her own, breaking her out of this sort of cozy lifestyle.
Critics loved the revamped control scheme and called it a true return to the series' roots. The changes paid off. Legends sold over 3 million copies worldwide, becoming the fastest-selling Tomb Raider game ever. Thanks to the daring facelift, the Tomb Raider series was back on track, and fans couldn't be happier.
We've just really scratched the surface of what you can do with Tomb Raider up until now, and so the future it's just going to hold so much more.
If you